Hey guys, today I'm talking about utility recovery. There are two industry recommended options available to increase your utility recovery line, and there's one straightforward approach that I'll include at the end. Each option offers unique benefits with some restrictions. Variables including property type, current lease terms, and meter availability will ultimately dictate which option you choose. The most accurate utility cost allocation is achieved with submetering. Individual meters installed in each unit. Submetering allows management to bill tenants for actual usage. Obviously, this is the most fair option to tenants and landlords because everyone is billed for their exact usage. For example, in a 4-unit property, we would have 5 meters installed, 1 on each unit, 1 house meter. Tenants who use more utilities pay more, and tenants who use less are billed less. The process to set up and run a submetering system is, basically you have to contact a third-party utility provider. They're going to do an analysis, provide a scope of work, cost estimates. We're going to schedule installation, post notices, revise leases. Then we have to enter everything into the billing system. Each month, you or the manager is going to send the utility bill to the third-party company, who will then do a bunch of math and send the bills out to the individual tenants. Tenants then pay the utility bills directly to the company. The owner or the manager is going to need to monitor that billing system and contact tenants for overdue bills. And then the third-party company is going to send the check back to the owner or the manager for your utility recovery income. So submetering setup costs depend on the building's plumbing and electrical configurations. Some properties, however, will present configuration or construction restraints prohibiting submetering as a viable option. So we find out that it's too expensive or it's physically impossible to do submetering, so we use RUBS, which is our second option. Ratio Utility Billing System, or RUBS for short, is a program to allocate utility costs to tenants, all the utility costs, and this is basically a calculation based on a pre-calculated formula. Each unit is billed a portion of the total utility cost per month. Variables used to determine the formula include occupancy, square footage, bed and bath per unit, number of plumbing fixtures. Each city and state have various rules and regulations surrounding RUBS. Because it is so different for each area, again, it's a very similar setup to the submetering, except there's no equipment to install, so it's obviously less expensive. Okay, each tenant is going to receive notice. We have to revise all their leases. We enter it all into the system. Same thing, we send them the bill every month. And once your leases are updated and the proper times elapse, each tenant is going to receive their utility bill each month. They pay the company takes a little fee, and the company sends the check back to the manager or the owner. Again, owner or manager needs to oversee that billing account because this third party doesn't typically do a good job collecting past due accounts. They try, but they're not as good as we are. Okay, the final option is what I call flat fee utility recovery. In my opinion, the easiest and most straightforward approach is a flat fee utility charge. Here, we simply include a per month, per person utility charge in addition, separate from rent. We calculate this by taking the annualized utility costs at roughly 80%, dividing by the number of tenants residing in the property last year. In Washington, landlords are not allowed to turn a profit on utilities, so we need to make sure utility recovery income does not exceed the utility expense line. So as you can see, this little system is not perfect, it's not perfect science, but it excludes, you don't need that third-party company to pay and monitor, which keeps the operation simpler for everyone involved, tenants, owners, and management. Okay, quick recap. Submetering RUBS ensure nearly 100%, but you have to use another company. Submetering requires an initial investment. It's a nice sales feature on the back end. RUBS requires no setup. Both options require that third-party company, which needs to be monitored by the owner or the management. Depending on you, your property goals, and whether or not you hire property management, neither option may seem worth all the effort. So in that case, a straightforward flat fee utility recovery charge may be your best option.